Okay, so this video will be about JavaScript arrays and very common JavaScript array methods. There are a lot of JavaScript array methods and there's really a lot to cover. So most likely this is not going to be the only video. There are going to be multiple videos, but we'll see how it goes. So this video will be useful for people who want to get more advanced with Apps Scirpt programming, or really anybody who wants to learn how to work with data in JavaScript. So what I'm going to do, this is my little spreadsheet. I'm going to go ahead and open my script editor. So tools, script editor, and here's my function. So let's start with some common basic things we need to know. So first of all, what is an array, right? So array is like a variable in which you can store multiple values. So let's create a variable. I'll call this variable names, and I'll make it equal to an array syntax, square brackets, and then I will have comma separated list of names. So that's the first person, that's the second person, so this is an array. So if I wanted to get the first thing in this array, that would be Linda. The way I would do that, so I can log this out to our logger log, and I would do names and then set a square brackets and 0. And that 0 is the position of the item in our array we want to extract. Now, Linda is the first item and position starts from 0. So that should get us the first item. So if I run this, go back and look at our logs, there it is. That's Linda. Now, if I do 1 will be 0, 1 as a second item. So that should get us Lisa. So let's check that out. There we go. And finally, we can keep going, right? So that's the position. If we want to overwrite a value, let's say we want to change Lisa to something else, we can just say this equals to new name. And now I changed this Lisa variable here. So if I just log this out, you can see it says new name instead. As a matter of fact, I can log out the whole array like this. And if I look at this, see we have Linda, new name, Peter, Joe. So this log method that you have in Sheets is kind of a little weird in a way that it presents everything. So right now you can see in the array we have this list of comma separated names. It doesn't actually wrap them in quotes like you have the array in JavaScript, but you kind of have to assume the quotes are there. Now with arrays, you have a property called length. So if I do names.length, like this, and I run this, if I do log, see it gives me 4. And what that 4 is, it just counts how many things we have here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 names. So we get a 4 as the length of that array. With arrays, we can also use a lot of methods. So when I do the name of the variable, names, I do period. It gives me a lot of different methods that are available, well, in JavaScript. In modern JavaScript, you will probably have some more in addition to this. But these are some very valuable and common ones to start with. I'm going to start with this method called push. So push method is a way to add items to our array. So push will add a new item to the end of this array. So if I push Steve here, let's change this to a name, Joe, and then just output that names. So I'm going to run this. view the log. I have Linda, I have Joe, right? Because we replaced that second person. I have Peter, I have Joe again, apparently, and Steve is the last person. So I had Joe here and I replaced Lisa with Joe too. Maybe this should be somebody else. There it is. So now we're going to have Linda, and then the second person here is going to be replaced with Anna, and then Peter, Joe, and then Steve. And there it is. Now you can obviously push again. And now that's going to add another one to the end. And there it is. Now, arrays also have a method called onShift. So there it is. I don't know why it didn't show up, but it's there. So let's try this. So I'm going to save that and run this. Now, onShift is similar to push. The difference is that push is adding something to the end. OnShift will add that item to the beginning. So now see, we add that before Linda with onShift. The next method we'll be talking about is called pop. You don't provide any arguments to this. Pop will simply just drop the last item in this array. So, well, as a matter of fact, the last item in this line is not going to be Joe. It's going to be, well, we're adding Steve, then we're going to add Olivia. That's going to be the last item. And then we're going to remove Olivia. So we have to end up with Steve. So I'm going to run this. Let's look at our log. And there it is. Olivia is gone because we used pop. The next one is going to be shift. Shift is similar to pop. And what it's going to do, instead of removing the last item, it's going to remove the first item. So over here, we're adding Jake. So the shift should remove Jake. And you can see Jake is now gone, even though we're adding him here. Let's comment this. So this remove last element. And this remove first element. And then this one is add first element. And push will be add last element. So far, this is where we are. Moving on to the next method. Let's talk about this method called concat. So concat will allow you to combine different arrays. So for example, if I have a second array, other names, and that equals to these two names, what I can do names dot and then concat, and then I can do that other names array, concatenated. Now, if we run this, what we're going to see in the log is going to be just the first array. Because what happens in this concat, see, for example, pop, shift, unshift, these methods are modifying our array. Now, concat doesn't modify our existing array. So it just returns a new one. So if I create a new variable, and then just log that out, we'll see that what we did, we got these, and then we're adding Jill and Bob. in the end. And that's what that does. Now let's move on to the next one. Index of, very common one. Index of is a search function. So I'm going to call this variable position. So here we provide what we're searching for. Let's say I'm searching for Peter. And let's log this. Run. See, it says 2. And what it did, it basically was searching for Peter in our array. Now, let's see why is Peter number 2 in this array. So first of all, let's understand what's going to happen with our array. This is our original names array. Then we're adding Steve to the end. Then we add Olivia to the end. Add Jake to the beginning. Then we'll remove the last person that was Olivia in the end. Then we'll remove Jake. And then basically we ended up in the beginning with Linda, Lisa, Peter, that same kind of thing. Only the second one is actually Anna because we changed it here. Maybe we should comment this line so we don't have to deal with it. But anyways, so what's going to happen here, we're searching for Peter here. So it's going to look, first one is not Peter, second one is not Peter, and the third one is Peter. And since our position starts with 0, it's 0, 1, 2. So 2 as the position. I'm actually going to just comment out these lines to avoid any confusion. And maybe I also will just comment this and place it here so we can see on the screen what's going on. And this I have to comment too because those variables don't exist. Okay, so here we go. So now we're searching for Peter, right? So you can search for something and find a position. Index of has an optional start position. Let's actually do another example of this. So let me add Peter one more time. So let's say we have 2 Peters in this. Let's see what happens with index of. So if I search, still gives me 2 because index of finds the first match. So 0, 1, 2 is Peter. Now what we can do, we can provide a second argument after comma in index of and say, let's start searching after certain positions. So let's say we want to start searching for Peter from this Joe position, and that's 0, 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to run this. And see, now we're finding 4 as a position because now we skipped this part and we started looking from here for Peter, and it gives us 4. It still will give you the index from the beginning of your array. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Even though we told it to search starting from the middle, it's still returning the position from the beginning of the array. Most of the time, you'll probably not gonna have that optional starting number, but you could. So let's do names dot. So the next thing I'm gonna talk about is join. So if I do join, let's just create a new variable and output that. Again, join is not going to modify your array, so that's going to be text. So if I look at a log, basically what it does, it combines all the elements in the array with a comma, and it creates a piece of text, string. Now what you can do with join, you can provide your own separator here. So if I do something like this, if I run this, see, now I joined those pieces of the array to a string that have this space dash space in the middle. And then we can also, for example, do this. So I'm leaving the area between that parentheses with 2 quotes empty, which means basically just leave it blank. So by default, it's going to use a comma, but you can modify that by providing your own character here. So a dash would be fine. Now what I want to do, I want to kind of talk about these methods all over again by incorporating multi-dimensional arrays. So I'm going to create two-dimensional array.